So while I was going through and just kind of playing through and seeing what else is there, obviously you had to check Neomuna because, the Veil Containment's there. Trial we don't have to do, weekly missions, whatever, and all that stuff. But apparently we still had some more stuff here. Now, of course, they don't want to actually provide it to us, but hey, maybe it's something like that. Just a quick thing. We'll see. Who knows? Possibly see something. Maybe. Who knows? Because I know that they wanted to do stuff with them, so maybe we'll get some more.
I hear the coders are real curious about you, XO. Something about...
Yeah.
Check this out.
All right. Here we go. Nimbus greets you with their usual enthusiasm. Guardian, listen, Osiris just got in touch. He says his data crawler uncovered all kinds of weird stuff. Their smile becomes a little self-deprecating. You're better at understanding ancient history and... Did the old bird call it? Paracausal studies? Something like that. The point is, I think you'll get more of Osiris's data crawl than I will. Head back down there and take a look, and let me know if you find anything interesting. Fucking knew it. Check on Osiris's data crawl for more information on the Veil's history. Back to the fucking Veil Containment. Again. We always somehow end up there. Like, I get it. Like, we're trying to get more information from them, but like, come on, man. I have other stuff to do. Let me do it. Let's see here. What we got? Do we have some more logs? Oh my god, we do.
I found no more logs from Dr. Essie, but I have used her algorithm to crack the data core of the Vex's conceptual mind.
That's the doodad we got from the Black Garden, right?
Indeed. The data within contained the Vex's blueprints for their artificial veil, the Black Heart. It all but proved Dr. Essie's theory. Dr. Essie theorized that the paracausal energy of the Traveler operated on a quantum wavelength parallel to electrons.
Magnets?
In simpler terms, the Traveler's power runs parallel to the forces of nature. Gravity, magnetism, sound, light. The Veil does this too. It is synchronized with the Traveler. Wherever the Traveler came from, the Veil may have as well. But what the Vex made, while connected to the Traveler, was inherently flawed. It did not create the link the Witness desired. Instead, it weakened the Traveler, created static in the flow of their cosmic forces. But it did reveal one intriguing possibility. That at one time, they may have been united. Part of a whole.
So, wait. Does this mean the light and darkness were the same once? One force?
Dr. Essie believed so. I am not as convinced. But it is a theory. One many scholars will explore once this data is shared. But this data allowed me to calculate the telemetry of the beam the Veil fired at the Traveler. When the Witness linked to the Veil through a ghost, it created a faster-than-light connection of darkness to the Traveler's light. A bridge to the Traveler's consciousness, if it has one. But the beam did not stop at the Traveler, rather a point inside of it.
Inside? Wait, what's inside the Traveler?
No one knows. But if the data I've been able to extrapolate here is correct, that is where the Witness is now. Inside the Traveler. It may be the reason why the Traveler has gone dormant, its attention directed inward, where the true threat is. But I am speculating. There's more I need to study, but I fear it will take a substantially longer amount of time.
How long do you need?
Months. If we have that long left, that is. Until then, I suppose.
Okay. So I guess that's kind of how they're ending off this whole little veil containment thing. By not only just giving us a strand, but also kind of giving us some more ideas in regards to what's going on, what's happening, and kind of showing what's going to be next for that, which is actually kind of cool. Like, I don't mind that. I think the one thing is, though, is that I kind of wish they kind of put a little bit more emphasis, like, hey, by the way, blah, 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 there's this stuff here. Because again, just like with the veil containment, if you didn't know that the veil containment was a thing, you wouldn't have known about it at all. I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, people were like, oh wait, what the fuck, what's this? So there's that. But at least in this case, we, you know, actually have sort of a completion point instead of just, oh, here's 500 different fucking audio logs. Oh, so the Pukas. Been such a long ass time since I've actually been here. I completely forgot that the Pukas just like float around everywhere. Not gonna lie. Alright. Embrace the darkness. Aspects. Whirling maelstrom. When maelstrom. A tightly coiled whip with frayed ends carried at your side. You twist the universe until it tears. The stranded tangle will weave a violent, writhing mass of strand fibers. The strand mass seeks out. Oh, okay, cool. Sure. I guess that's. Yay, we got it. But that's how you would be able to get the latest strand option if you haven't already.
Arc is the element of motion and conduction, and is created when the electromagnetic forces of our universe struggle to achieve balance. According to Ikora, Arc teaches us that change is a fundamental aspect of the universe. To wield it is to ride the storm of the unguessable.
Huh, I didn't even realize they're here. Check them out.
Void is the element of cosmic distortion. It is the pull of gravity and the promise of entropy. The vacuum of space and the gravitational forces that shape it teach us that emptiness is not nothingness. In Ikora's words, to wield void is to draw strength from both the immeasurably small and the unfathomably massive. With it, we bend the very fabric of space-time.
This is actually kind of cool. I like this.
Stasis is the element of will and control. It slows, detains, and shatters. It was our first step into darkness and taught us the universe is not as black and white as it first seemed. Elsie Bray and Eris Morn have slightly different interpretations of how one masters this element. Fitting, as stasis thrives on individual will, but merging their thoughts gives me this. Control over the self can foster control over others. But without power over the self, destruction runs wild. When we wield stasis, we must exercise the ultimate authority over both self and others.
You. Alright, so we checked those ones out. Let's try this one.
Solar requires us to both exploit and rely on the power of our sun. But to master it is to understand the star's duality. The nuclear force that scorches anything foolish enough to draw near is the same force we harness to heal. It feeds the flora of our galaxy, just as it begets drought and famine. Destruction and recreation are a necessary cycle.
And why are we not able to talk about Strand, huh? Yeah, I just got nothing from Strand. The fuck? Well, I mean, I guess what it was just kind of like additional stuff that I just haven't done. Yeah. Oh, it's because I already did the Strand note like a while back. That could be it. That makes sense. I guess I just now got the lore. Woohoo. Totally didn't like have done this like a while ago. But anyway, so far I might as well give my kind of initial thoughts, because ultimately, even though it is, I mean, granted for you guys it's going to be a little bit later on. I think what this is going to be coming up on what, Thursday? No, Thursday's going to be Saturday. Actually, this is going to be coming up on Saturday. But as of right now, it is literally day 2, as you can tell. So I've done a little bit of a progression on this. One thing I have to say though, the Spire, a bit lackluster. I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm saying like there could be more. Now, granted, I still think they're doing this whole like, oh, we're gonna add more stuff and other aspects to it later on, because that's, you know, possibly what might be happening when it comes to it. Because if they do incorporate that into the Spire like they did with deep dives, I'm okay with it. I'm generally fine with it. But, you know, when they had this like horde based mode, or like this like kind of infinite repeating cycle based system, I was honestly kind of hoping that it was going to be within the Spire. But that being said, one thing that I will give props to is that, you know, I do like how there's that verticality. Although I do kind of want to see more action when it comes to that verticality. I know words. I totally know words. I'm totally not just fucking tired as all hell because I've been up since 4 a.m. in the morning. Actually, it could be that, but that's besides the point. Anyway. But the verticality of that and kind of like it being only the transition areas, it could have had a little bit more action, or at least something other than, ooh, let's just hop over here, let's hop over there, and that's it. You know? Not something that I'm a huge fan of, at least as of right now. But again, we'll have to see later on. They may expand it out further, because again, there's always going to be some expansions on those. Now, the altar summons or summoning, I like a lot. Like I said before, you know, the fact that there is that a seemingly infinite system set up just feels good to have. Now, of course, if you don't have the right teammates, then you may run into an issue, but it is still always nice to kind of go through that, and also kind of what's the word, kind of have that horde mode type deal that we kind of wish we had beforehand, you know. Kind of goes back to something like the Court of Oryx type deal, where it's like you did have those kind of like seemingly infinite waves, and in this case it kind of also simulates that in its own right. Now, obviously, we're gonna have to see a little bit more. The card stuff, actually might as well go over there. It's interesting, because the one thing is that I like it, but also the second thing is that I don't like it. Now, starting off with the reason why I like it is because, one, it gives me a reason to actually go through the system, go through the story, go through everything. Because without that, I would likely not be willing to go through it. Because obviously, it would be boring. And, you know, we would get the same exact situation when it came to the Season of the Deep, where once I get the story done, there's nothing else for me to do. Like, yeah, there's the dungeon, but I really want to do the dungeon. But here in this case, we actually have something that's a little bit more interesting. So, obviously, we have, like, the major cards and the minor cards. But I think, right now, I like the way this is set up. Because the major cards, the ones that you can play, that you can see active right now, are actually really kind of cool. And you can just go here and also use this system to kind of get an understanding of what's there. Now, obviously, the rest of this stuff over here, this is kind of all like the regular major stuff. But there is always going to have some other like minor ones where you can get like extra, you know, extra gear, you know, materials, even deep sighting stuff, which is actually really nice and that's cool. But it is something that, you know, you can go for and allows you to do the customization. Oh god, I'm tired. Shit. But it allows you to do the customizability of how you're, you know, how you interact with the altars and all that stuff. And then, obviously, you know, the rolls on these are not too bad. Did take a look at them. There's a couple that are standing out, the Scout Rifle and the Pulse. Well, not the Pulse, my bad. The Fusion Rifle, because there's no Pulse Rifle. But, you know, we'll have to take a look at everything else. But, with that being said, obviously, I do like our good old exotic buddy, the Osiris, which is nice. I think it's really fun to use, but, you know, it does have its benefits, especially with the new exotic, apparently. I haven't gone, you know, farming for it yet, but, you know, I'm focusing on other stuff, like, for example, you know, going and getting Last Wish weapons, because yeah, that's something. But anyway, that's all that I have right now. And this being Wednesday, I'm super tired and I still have to go to sleep. So with that being said, thank you for watching. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. And we'll see you next week, or until I find something else, I guess. I don't know, I'm like still finding stuff out. But yeah, I'll see you then. Take care.